Red Dead Redemption 2. We're doing some tips and tricks, general. Cool little things you can do in the game, or really little features that you should be checking out to assist your gameplay. First off, if you want to shave, because you do constantly grow a beard, we've got this lovely shaving kit area here, and you can adjust how much of a trim you want. My current length is too long, but when you start the game and you first get to like this big camping area after the prologue, you're looking a little scruffy, and that's how you shave. You can use this little kit here. It's convenient. It's right at your camp, or you can go to a barber if that's your thing. If you don't like the darkness, you can sleep. You can go into your bed, hold Y, and you can pass certain selections of time to get to certain points in the day. Another really big thing that you should focus on is upgrading your camp. So you have to do a mission for Mr. Strauss. We're not going to do any spoilers here, guys. Don't worry. Basically, you unlock the ability to upgrade your camp. Now, this is essential, and you should funnel all of your money towards Duchess kind of area. It seems a little glitchy to get this going. Sometimes your character like backs out. So basically, you get this book. You can upgrade things, your medicine, your provisions. But if you look at the lodging here, the first one is a $220 tier, and that will make Duchess House bigger, and it also means people will contribute more to the general community. But if you notice the next in line there, $325, that will unlock fast travel for you, as you could probably see in the bottom left corner. And I think that's kind of a big deal because this is a very big map, and it takes a very long time to travel across. I also believe that the horse stable is kind of a good option, and that kind of leads me into the horse thing. Take care of your horse, clean it, feed it, and bond with it. You'll be able to whistle for it over longer distances, and it'll be more loyal to you and just generally be easier to deal with. Pat it and just become friends with it. So obviously you can donate money too. There are options for playing poker at the local area too. You'll see that come up. And it really is these items. If you're like a poker guy, you'll see these items on the map. Yellow are like main missions you can do. White dots are random stranger missions. And these are temporary. So if you don't do them at a certain time, you may never see them again. They'll be different. It's just random, strange, cool little events that you can take part in. When you look at red circles, where is that? These are little bounty groups. They're coming to kill you, and I've got a bit of a bounty going on me. I will say be very careful when you're riding a horse or a carriage. If you hit anyone, you'll basically cripple and instantly kill them, causing other people to get mad. Sometimes you accidentally knock over, you run over a father's son. He gets mad. You beat him up, and you put him on your horse, and then the sheriff sees that and he doesn't like it, and you kill the sheriff, and then all the sheriff's friends come, and then you kill sheriff's friends, and then you've got a bounty going. It's a nightmare. You can pay that off at the post office if you do get one, or just keep killing people. It's a good idea to get rid of witnesses too. Obviously no witnesses, no crime, right? You got your satchel right here. It's available right off the bat at any point. Eating food will restore your stamina because sometimes it gets low and damaged, especially when you're drinking. You have this really cool thing called a bandana. So if you're committing crimes or going to, you should wear your bandana, and then you're cool, right? I mean, it just makes logical sense to do that. So we're going to get on our horse, and we are going to go for a ride. Obviously up is whistling, and it kind of gets your horse going. Love my horse here. So your horse is everything in this. It is your, basically your item thing. It's got all the items you want. It's got, your full list of tools. It's got food. It's got your weapons. And it's very just essential, for doing stuff and for your missions. I also want to mention that the hat. See, I don't have a hat right now. You constantly lose your hat in this game. You can pick hats off the ground from others that you beat up, or you can go and find your hat on the ground if it has fallen. It happens quite often, guys. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's happened to the best of us, losing those hats. Be extremely careful on inclines. Even the slightest little incline, and your horse will cripple, or you will fall, and you will snap your neck, and you'll just die. It's so damn touchy, it is unreal. If you could take 2 seconds to walk up something that looks more like regular of a path, or not take a jump off a cliff, take that option because you will die. If there's a train going by, you can run with your horse and you can tap X and you can actually board that train. There's a lot of options for using your lasso. Sorry, I was kind of cycling through them. So you can throw your lasso and you can catch things, you can catch people, and you can like hog tie people, and you can put them on the back of your horse and take them with you. It's very easy to use, you just have to get into distance. And that works pretty well for that, at least I think so. When you're on your horse, if you find rivers, they will hide your tracks, especially in the snow. Common sense. This game is all about the little tiny immersive details. So like anything that you think is realistic is actually implemented in this, because it is incredible. Like you can see your horse, you know, just kind of pooing, I guess. I don't know. And there's like horse testicles and all that. We're not going to show it, but you know, they go really hardcore. If you lose your horse, because I went through a totally drunken stupor, and that was the moment I realized this game is absolutely amazing. If you kill yourself or you die, suicide isn't always the way, guys. Your horse will be there when you restart the checkpoint. So at least every time I've done it. So I'm not 100% on that, but every time I've done that, lost my horse or whatever, I died. The horse was right there when I respawned. Or like restarted checkpoint. You know what I mean. Cool. Wandering leads to adventures. Like I mentioned, there's the random events. You're seeing that sort of in action right there. I think this is a random event we can do. Uh-oh. So yeah, you gotta clean your horse up and take care of it. What the kitty fuck is this? Look on my works. Okay. That's not weird at all. We're just gonna ignore this and pretend it didn't happen. It's worth noting that when you get maps, such as treasure maps, that you should look at the back of them too. You never know what you're going to find. Same with a lot of other items, pictures and stuff. You might find neat little hidden secrets on the back of them. It's always a good idea to flip them around. Takes an extra second, and yeah, it's pretty good. So money always seems available in buildings, so it's always worth looking around in the drawers and stuff. I notice you don't really get caught for like taking things from buildings, so whenever you're out in the open doing whatever, take a second and grab something. It doesn't hurt. The map reveals itself as you continue to play and explore, so it's not just all available. It keeps going and going and going. It's pretty big and very immersive, and the level of detail is just outstanding. You can go and see a show if you'd like to. That's fun. You just sit down and do a show. If you go to a show in the main kind of first town that you go to, right here you'll find a smoke card, and the smoke cards grant special bonuses. It's sitting right underneath the projector area. You know what I'm talking about, right? Projector style, yeah. When you're in fights, I suggest continuously holding the block and then punching intermittently, because then you're able to do a kind of block attack, like a parry. Very helpful indeed, and very useful too. When you are running, trying to go past towns, so basically if you set a waypoint, we're going to open this up, and let's say set a waypoint right here. You'll notice how it follows directly the path. It just follows the path. So the fastest way to actually do this properly is to cut corners. Going around the town, sorry, I'm going to make a note of that because I just remembered it, is faster than going through the town, because your character kind of slows down a bit. So it's actually faster to slightly go around where you want to get to the path, or get to your final destination. And I also say that cut corners because, again, like I mentioned, it's just going to directly orient you across the path. And there's some areas where you just seem to slow down, so it's best to sort of avoid those if you're trying to get somewhere faster, where you don't want to waste your time. And yeah, just kind of move around them to the slight edge, and then you don't have to deal with slow pathing or anything like that. Obviously, keep a look at your horse. I guess we'll go over that in depth. Hold RB to slow her down. And then you just focus on your horse. You can also get info on things. Hold LT and then info. Sorry, just gotta put this lasso away. LB, the bumper, does that. So you got these options here. We can pat our horse. If we hadn't already done it, you can hold RB to show info, and you can kind of get information on things. Very helpful. And you want to build that affinity with your horse, just so that you're able to do things more easily. You know, it's kind of a very helpful thing, I think. Definitely helps. Again, Red Dead Redemption 2, you know. Beautiful game. There's lots to do.
Out of the damn way.
Lots to kind of see. I suggest hip firing is the most effective way to kind of eliminate people. That here because there's not too many people. So you just, you know, keep tapping the trigger on your respective platform, and you go pop, 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 really fast, really quick. Of course, you got to be closer to people to do it. If you are at a distance, I highly suggest the carbine repeater, which I do not have because it is in my horse. Always remember to check out your horse for items. You can hold 2 main items at a time and then switch between them. Keep in mind they're definitely aiming for a sense of realism. I find the repeater is the most useful at a medium to long distance range. Again, you can just kind of snap it if you need to get close, but at a distance you can actually just, you know, sort of shoot all your enemies. It's not a terribly hard game, so you really shouldn't come into a situation where you're having troubles surviving. Cover is key. Remember, when you jump out of cover, if you just tap LT or your left trigger, the gun will automatically snap to your enemies and targets. So it really is like an LT-RT shoot. You don't need to do much moving. If you'd like, there's the Deadeye kind of mechanic. I don't know, I feel like it's a little less immersive. You can cover transition by tapping X, kind of like looking and then tapping X to move. You move a lot slower when you are running and shooting, and you'll get even more of a nasty sway going on if you're kind of getting shot at. So I don't suggest doing the stand, look, and shoot thing. If you're like a Terminator, you can, but it's best to move between covers, even small covers, just so that kind of block shots. Obviously, there's not guys right here, but kind of want to give a sense of that. When you're hunting, good point to bring up hunting. They can smell you. It's good to use lures, so you got to be just kind of careful with your hunting. You know, keep crouched if you can. Track them with the Deadeye system, and yeah, just kind of shoot at them. But maybe use like a bow, because if you shoot at them with a gun, the animals are more likely to be scared. You maybe kill the one, but you also might damage the pelt by doing so, and the pelt is kind of, you know, it's worth more money. So it's more valuable to basically not slaughter your animals like animals with guns, and use a bow and arrow, which you have available. You can switch on the fly between your different items. Notice how everything goes into like a really sort of slow motion, so that you're able to pick what you need. Shotgun and stuff. Keep an eye on your gun counters. You get like tons of bullets, so it's not a big deal. Personally, for close range, I like to rock the pistol, and then the carbine again for the medium to long range, because I think that is the most effective sort of method for taking out your enemies. And being in a fight, it's really just like a quick battle. It's deadly, it's fast paced. You know, there's not a lot of change. When you're in a brawl, tapping B kind of breaks things. And yeah, I mean, the brawls aren't too difficult to deal with. You just kind of keep tapping, and if you are struggling with any particular brawl, again, keeping that blocking up and then waiting for your strike moment, or even tapping them and intermittently tapping the fight, or like the hit combo, will do wonders for your abilities. This is a beautiful large world. Again, I highly suggest exploring it, really taking a look at what is out there, because you never know what you're going to come across or who you're going to meet and what sort of wacky adventures you're going to do, because there's a lot of secrets hidden throughout this world, which are a lot of fun. And even I am just, oh crap, that was close, sort of scratching the surface of what's out here, and I hope these do sort of at least help your adventures a little bit. I know the fast travel one's a big deal, and getting your horse back if you've lost it, or kind of dealing with things. You know, have lost your horse out of range. My horse is right here. Or is this a different horse? This isn't even my regular horse. How did I end up with this horse? Anyways, That is basically Red Dead Redemption 2. I hope this helps out and kind of gives you information. I guess a good little final mention is that you can just sort of jump on it almost any horse, except if it's like your pal's horse, and it'll tell you that it's blocked. Temporary horse until you get your regular horse back. It's not a big deal which horse you have, but if you can get a really good loyal horse going, I think it makes all the difference in the long-term gameplay for this one. I guess pay your bounties, I haven't had too much of a problem, but they can cause a lot of conflict if they come near you. Remember that this world is something that you can break down. You know, if there's a tree or something, you can sort of break it down out of the way. You're not going to get stuck on stuff. And, you know, the environment is very dynamic and responsive to your character. Unless it's a slope, even a slightly slope, you'll fall down and break your neck. And when your horse falls over, if you're carrying something like a deer, it might fall off and head down a stream, causing you to have to rapidly chase that deer while your horse tries to get its act together. Red Dead Redemption 2.